They were dying. 8 Navy SEALs pinned behind rusted metal. Enemy fire raining down from every angle. No extraction. No backup. No hope. Then, through the chaos, they heard a sound that shouldn't have been there. A sound that changed everything. This is the story of the pilot who never existed, the mission that never happened, and the strike that saved lives no one would ever officially acknowledge. The coastal morning hung thick with humidity. Abandoned shipping containers stretched across the port like a graveyard of commerce, their orange paint peeling away in jagged strips. Somewhere in that maze of rust and concrete, 8 operators were about to learn what desperation really meant. The mission brief had been simple, clean, a high-value target, hiding in a warehouse at the port's eastern edge. Minimal resistance expected, in and out before sunrise. Intelligence had promised them an easy night. Intelligence had lied. The first shot came from an elevated position they hadn't marked. Then another, then 10 more. Within heartbeats, methodical precision dissolved into pure survival. The enemy had been waiting. Weapons zeroed. Kill zones overlapping like a perfectly laid trap. Contact. Contact. Multiple hostiles, reinforced positions. The SEAL team scattered, boots pounding against cracked concrete as rounds sparked of metal around them. They dove behind shipping containers that provided cover but no way forward, no way back, just temporary shelter in a killing field that was rapidly closing in. The team leader pressed against cold steel, his mind racing through options that didn't exist. Command, we need air support. Now. Static is back at him. Then words that landed like physical blows. Negative, all assets committed. No air support available your sector. Around him, his team was counting ammunition, calculating how many minutes they could hold before the enemy completed their encirclement. Professional warriors reduced to watching the clock tick down on their lives. 12 miles away, in a hangar that smelled of jet fuel and old hydraulic fluid, she sat alone. No name tape on her flight suit, no rank insignia, no squadron patch, nothing that would identify who she was or why she was there. To the mechanic working on a nearby helicopter, she was just another pilot waiting for orders. Unremarkable, invisible. She studied a one map, fingers tracing coordinates that told a story only she understood. An officer approached, curiosity pulling him toward the anomaly of a pilot studying locations outside her assigned area. Those aren't your orders. She didn't respond, didn't explain, didn't ask permission. She simply stood, picked up her helmet, and walked toward the farthest bay in the complex wherein a 10 Thunderbolt 2 sat waiting in the shadows. The Warthog looked exactly like what it was a flying tank designed to survive hell and deliver worse. Its titanium bathtub cockpit could withstand direct hits. Its twin engines were mounted high to protect against ground fire, and slung beneath those wings hung enough firepower to erase grid squares from existence. A maintenance tag fluttered from the landing gear. Standby status. She didn't file a flight plan, didn't request clearance, didn't wait for permission that would never come through official channels. The ground crew watched as she conducted her pre-flight with surgical precision. Each check deliberate, each movement efficient. Then the twin turbofans began their distinctive whine, a sound that sent vibrations through the concrete floor. By the time the control tower realized what was happening, she was already rolling toward the runway, throttles advancing. Unidentified aircraft. You are not cleared for. She lifted off into grey morning sky, the Warthog's nose pitching out as she banked hard toward the coast. Below her, confused controllers scrambled through databases that would show nothing, logs that would reveal no answers. Back at the port, the situation was collapsing. We've got maybe 3 minutes before they complete the circle, the team leader reported, his voice tight with controlled urgency. I need options. There were no options. The mathematics of the situation were simple and brutal. Too many enemies, too little ammunition. Too much open ground to cross. Professional soldiers understood when equations could no longer be balanced in their favor. One operator summed a fresh magazine into his rifle, knowing it might be his last. We make them earn it. Then, beneath the crack of gunfire and the shouts of advancing enemies, another sound began to build. Distant at first, like thunder rolling in from the ocean, but growing, deepening, becoming something unmistakable. A SEAL frozen mid-reload, his entire body going still as recognition hit. That's a Hawk. Impossible, someone replied. There's no A-10 support in this sector. Tell that to my ears. They all heard it now, the distinctive twin-engine growl that every combat veteran knew on a primal level. The sound that meant salvation was inbound, that the rules of engagement were about to change dramatically in their favor. But there wasn't supposed to be any Warthog within 50 miles. She came in low over the water, flying barely above the wave tops, the ocean spray creating a mist trail behind her aircraft. No radio call announced her presence. No standard protocol preceded her approach. She simply appeared, like a ghost materializing from morning fog. In the cockpit, her hands were steady on the controls, her breathing measured, her eyes locked on the thermal signatures blooming across her targeting display, bright clusters of heat marking enemy positions that thought themselves untouchable. The GAL-8 Avenger cannon spun up with a mechanical hum that preceded devastation. 7 rotating barrels, each capable of firing 30mm rounds designed to shred armored vehicles. The sound alone was enough to make veterans instinctively seek cover. The enemy fighters never heard her coming. Their attention remained fixed on the trapped SEALs, confident that overwhelming firepower would force surrender within minutes. They didn't see the silhouette cutting through the sky behind them, didn't hear the turbofans over their own weapons fire. She lined up her first pass with geometric precision, her targeting reticle painting hostile positions in harsh digital clarity. Years of training compressed into 3 seconds of action. The GAL-8 roared. The sound was unlike anything else in modern warfare, deep, grinding thunder that seemed to tear the air itself apart. Tracer rounds drew a perfect line of destruction across the enemy defensive positions. 30mm depleted uranium projectiles traveling at 3,300 feet per second chewed through concrete barriers like they were paper, turned steel reinforcement into shrapnel, erased human bodies from existence. The effect was immediate and absolute. Positions that had been pouring lethal fire moments before simply ceased to exist. Concrete dust filled the air where muzzle flashes had been strobing. The systematic destruction took less than 4 seconds. She banked left without hesitation, rolling into her second pass with fluid grace. The warehouse roof reinforced to withstand conventional attacks offered no resistance to rounds designed to penetrate tank armor. She put ordnance exactly where it needed to go. Surgical strikes that eliminated threats while preserving the structure the SEALs still needed to clear. 20 seconds. That's how long the engagement lasted, where moments before there had been a complex tactical nightmare requiring careful planning and coordinated response. Now there was only smoke and silence and empty positions where enemies had been. The SEALs emerged cautiously from cover, weapons raised, finding nothing left to fight. Their training demanded verification, but their eyes confirmed what seemed impossible: total neutralization of hostile forces in a single gun run. Overhead, she completed one final orbit, ensuring no secondary threats remained hidden in the facilities. Maze of containers and cranes, professional thoroughness, even in unauthorized operations. Then she simply left. No circling for acknowledgement, no radio call requesting confirmation. The Warthog's distinctive silhouette grew smaller against grey sky, heading back toward the coast as silently as she'd arrived. In the control tower, air traffic controllers frantically searched databases that showed nothing. No call sign existed in their logs. No sortie had been filed. No flight plan explained the A-10's presence. The older officer who'd questioned her earlier stood at the observation window, watching her land with textbook precision. His expression mixed confusion with something approaching respect. Who the hell is she? No one had an answer. She taxied to the same distant bay where her mission had begun, shut down the systems with methodical care, and descended from the cockpit. Steam rose from engine housings pushed hard, but not beyond design limits. She walked through the hangar's shadowed interior, helmet tucked under one arm, acknowledging no one. By the time the inquiry team arrived, dispatched by controllers who needed answers for reports that would inevitably follow, she had vanished completely. Only the calling A-10 remained, silent testimony that something extraordinary had occurred. Hours later, the SEAL team gathered for debriefing, still processing what they'd witnessed. The transition from desperate survival to mission completion had been so rapid their minds struggled to accept it. She flew in like it was nothing. One operator reported, target eliminated in under a minute. Clean, precise, professional. They reviewed helmet camera footage, watching the gun run from ground level. The precision was remarkable, not area destruction, but focused application of overwhelming firepower that eliminated specific threats while leaving everything else intact. A senior officer entered the ready room, his appearance carrying weight that silenced all conversation. That footage is now classified at the highest levels. No names will be attached to any reports. No records will reflect unauthorized air support. No inquiries will be pursued through official channels. No one asked for explanations. They understood that some operations existed in spaces between official acknowledgement and plausible deniability. Out on the flight line, The A-10 sat quietly under protective canvas, its nose art hidden from view. To maintenance personnel, it appeared to be just another asset awaiting assignment. The SEALs didn't need names or official confirmation. They'd felt the weight of her work, the impossible made routine through skill that operated beyond standard protocols. Somewhere in future skies, the low growl of approaching Warthog engines would always carry special meaning. The sound would represent the moment when anonymous professionalism transformed desperation into victory without fanfare or recognition. Some victories aren't recorded in official logs. Some heroes never receive medals or commendations. Some battles are won by pilots whose names exist only in classified files that most will never read. But on that grey morning at an abandoned port, 8 warriors learned a fundamental truth that most dangerous operators are often the ones you never see coming, the ones who don't ask permission, the ones who simply appear when needed most and disappear before questions can be asked. Silent power doesn't announce itself, it just gets the job done. If stories like this one remind you that true strength often operates in the shadows, protecting those who need it most without ever seeking recognition, hit that like button and subscribe to Silent Warriors, because the best operators are the ones whose names you'll never know, but whose actions change everything.